Alright, so our first lesson today is going to be just a review of order of operations. And so first off, I just want you to go ahead and grab a sheet of notebook paper and start copying down the title for today's order of operations. And then in big letters, just go ahead and write down PEMDAS, which you guys are familiar with. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And we're just going to go through that very quickly, do a few example problems, and then go from there. So P, of course, is going to stand for parentheses, and E is going to stand for exponents. M is going to be multiplication. D is division. A is addition, and B is subtraction. Okay, and so with this, remember, parentheses is actually going to be any form of grouping, okay? It could be parentheses, it could be brackets. We even consider the top or the bottom of a fraction bar to be grouping as well. You'll see a lot of that in Algebra 1 this year. Exponents are going to be second power, third power, fourth power, and so on, any of those. Multiplication and division go together, and we go from left to right on those. Okay, so if there are more than one of them, left to right. Addition and subtraction, same thing. We go from left to right. Okay, so parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, we go left to right if there's more than one. Addition and subtraction, we also go left to right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a couple of example problems so that you will have a chance to see that in action. So I'm going to remind myself here, PEMDAS, so I can remember what I'm working on. Okay, and so we're going to look for parentheses first. There are none. No exponents. Multiplication, there is. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take care of this multiplication. We're going to do 5 times 2 first. So 5 times 2 is 10. And then we bring down everything else that's still in that expression. So 10 minus 10, now we're into subtraction. We can go ahead and subtract that and get 0. So that's our final answer, is 0. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the next one. We look for parentheses, there are none. Exponents, there are none. Multiplication, there is none, but there is division. So we're going to do 36 divided by 3. Okay, 36 divided by 3 is 12. And then we're going to bring down the rest of this. Okay, now we have 7 minus 12. And if we subtract 7 minus 12, we're going to end up with a negative 5. Okay. All right, the next problem, parentheses. We do have parentheses this time, so we're going to go ahead and do the 9 minus 3. So 7 times, and then in parentheses, 9 minus 3 is 6. Okay, and now we move on. We have no exponents, but we do have multiplication, so we'll go ahead and take care of the multiplication. And 7 times 6 is 42. Okay, next one we have parentheses. So again, we want to take care of that first. So 4 plus 2 is 6. And then we bring down everything else. And we have no exponents, but we do have multiplication. So we can do 3 times 6 and we'll get 18. Okay, so final answer on that one. All right, next we have no parentheses, but we do have an exponent this time. So 5 squared. Now remember that an exponent means that you're taking that number and you're multiplying it by itself as many times as your exponent tells you, as many times as your power tells you. So in this case, 5 squared is actually 5 times 5. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do 5 times 5 is 25, and then subtract 8 from that. We'll end up with 17. Okay, so 17 is going to be your answer on that one. And then over here, again, we have exponents. We have 2 sets of exponents this time. We have 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, so remember 2, we multiply it by itself this many times. So 2, 2, and 2, 3 of them. And then we're going to have 3 squared, which is going to be 3 times 3. Okay, so if I do those exponents first, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9, and then 8 times 9 is going to be 72. All right, we're going to pause right there, and then we'll do a few more examples in a minute.